yourself, and how did you get into this game, man?
I got in the game. I met Jam Master Jay a while, like 3 years ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I was signed to JMJ Records for like a year. I recorded 18 songs with him. He kind of like, he taught me how to write in song format. Like,
okay.
So he helped me a lot. Like, and then I wasn't progressing enough at the time for myself. You know, I was speed and I was new.
Right.
I felt like I had to make some changes, so I ended up, I met the Track Masters and I was working with Tony. I met Corey Rooney. He introduced me to the Track Masters. I was working with the Track Masters in Bearsville. We negotiated the release, and ever since then I've been with Columbia.
Yeah?
You know.
Renaissance, spearheaded by Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. The genre is about to get a boost from a New York artist who had been left for dead, literally and figuratively. Queens, New York rapper 50 Cent had impressed producers Poke and Tone, aka the Track Masters, with his hit song, The Hit. Poke and Tone had produced the firm's The Album with Dr. Dre and had already enjoyed success with Nas, Foxy Brown, and Will Smith. They were also executives at Columbia Records at the time. The Track Masters assigned 50 Cent, but as the scheduled release for his debut album approached, he failed to elicit much excitement via singles such as Rowdy Rowdy and Thug Love. The latter was a collaboration with Destiny's Child. Things changed though when 50 Cent recorded the controversial song How to Rob. On the tongue-in-cheek track, which was produced by Poke and Tone, 50 Cent imagines himself robbing a bevy of entertainers, from P. Diddy and Bobby Brown to Jay-Z and Mike Tyson. Objecting to some of the lyrics, Poke and Tone had 50 Cent remove some of the rougher lines about Mariah Carey and others. 50 Cent went along with their suggestions, but truth be told, he wasn't concerned about offending anyone. Released in August 1999 and included on the Into Deep soundtrack, 50 Cent's How to Rob became a sensation, for better or worse. It was an immediate shock at radio, because when they played it on influential New York radio station Hot 97, it was over, Poke said. Everybody was talking about this record. It immediately got him noticed, and that's what we were looking for, attention. But with the attention came heat. Several of the rappers 50 Cent rhymed about took offense to his lyrics, including Jay-Z and Wu-Tang Clan member Ghostface Killah. Then on May 24, 2000, 50 Cent was shot multiple times in front of his grandmother's house in South Jamaica, Queens, New York. The reported shooter, Daryl Homo Baum, was killed 3 weeks later. The scrutiny brought on by his being shot and by the street tension generated by his song Ghetto Quran, in which he gave detailed information about the names and operations of specific Queens, New York drug dealers, proved unbearable for Columbia Records. 50 Cent was subsequently dropped from the label's roster. The album he recorded for Columbia, Power of the Dollar, was not released, even though bootleg copies surfaced once he became a superstar. However, it was later released as an EP. While he was recuperating, 50 Cent recorded songs for what would become the mixtapes that gave him a second chance in the music industry. He took the innovative step of using the instrumentals from existing songs from the Ghetto Boys, Jay-Z, Mobb Deep, and others. 50 Cent modified the hooks of the songs and then delivered his own versions. They were instantly recognizable because of the beats and choruses of the original songs, which were already proven crowd pleasers. As a solo artist, and with his G-Unit collective, initially composed of rappers 50 Cent, Lloyd Banks, and Tony Yayo, 50 Cent released a glut of material in 2002, including the independent album Guess Who's Back, and mixtapes 50 Cent as the Future and No Mercy, No Fear. 50 Cent's hard-hitting, gritty, and charismatic material contained the standard gangster rap themes: guns, drugs, sex, violence, and made him one of the most buzzed-about artists in the genre. One who was booking club tours without a major record deal, an unheard-of accomplishment. 50 Cent was also relentless. releasing far more product than the typical artist. He was gaining attention and acclaim from the genre's elite. No Mercy, No Fear featured the song Wanksta, which Eminem included on the soundtrack for 8 Mile, his semi-autobiographical blockbuster film. In about 2 years, 50 Cent had gone from an afterthought to signing a $1 million deal with Eminem's Shady Records and Dr. Dre's Aftermath Entertainment, becoming the first artist to sign a deal with both of them. Astute businessman that he was, he had already laid the groundwork for even greater success. One thing about 50, he knew how to brand himself before he got with Eminem and Dre, Snoop Dogg said. He was already popping and doing his own shit and making hot music and being controversial, doing all the shit that stars do. So to me, 50 was already a star. 50 Cent and his handlers played up his street past in the run-up to the release of his Shady Aftermath debut album, 2003's Get Rich or Die Trying. His drug-dealing past and his being shot 9 times gave him a hard-earned legitimacy from the perspective of rap listeners who clamored for artists who had risen up from what they considered an authentic street life. My nigga 50 was, I'll blast you. Nigga shot at me. We sold dope in Jamaica, Queens. The homie got 100 years. We got the kilos, the AKs, but he was never looked at as the gangbanger, MC8 said. Never. Put him on the West Coast and tie him into one of these neighborhoods, he'd have been a motherfucking gangster rapper. Although he wasn't a gangbanger from the Los Angeles area, 50 Cent catered to the demographic. On Get Rich or Die Trying track, What Up Gangsta, for instance, the hook references the Bloods and the Crips. What up Blood, 50 Cent raps. What up Cuz comes next, using the word Crips consider a term of endearment among themselves. Much of the rest of Get Rich or Die Trying played like a blueprint of classic gangster rap. Many Men Wish Death featured a reflective 50 Cent detailing people who wanted to see him perish, while Heat featured music built around gunshots. PIMP and its remix featuring Snoop Dogg played up 50 Cent's ability to sleep with a woman and then have her prostitute herself for him. Massively popular singles In the Club and 21 Questions showed that 50 Cent was able to remain himself while parlaying gangsterism into a commercially friendly format, something mentor Dr. Dre had perfected with his own work, as well as the music he made with Eazy-E, NWA, Snoop Dogg, and others. With a significant self-generated buzz, a willingness to diss the most popular rappers of the moment, Ja Rule chief among them, and the stamp of approval from Eminem and Dr. Dre, as well as the crossover smash In the Club, 50 Cent exploded onto the scene in 2003. Get Rich or Die Trying debuted as the #1 album in the country that February, showing that a new generation of gangster rappers could dominate the pop culture consciousness. 50 Cent also came into the music industry with a distinctive focus. He was pushing his brands and was approaching his career as a multi-pronged business, not just as a rapper. It marked a significant evolution for both rap and gangster rap.
For more of these fascinating stories and true crimes, subscribe to Charles Arnis World. Thanks for watching.
Rhythm D was matched up with a bodyguard brought in by Mike Klein named Big Animal and was told not to go anywhere besides the house and the studio. Easy had his own hulking bodyguards, including Big Ron and a pair of 300-pound goateed Samoan brothers named Jacob and John, aka the Twins. He was glad to have them. He was often stressed out and waking up at absurdly early hours. He turned to acupuncture in hopes of relieving tension, having needles stuck into his head that made him look like the Hellraiser figure he had at his house. Ruthless launched a Saturday night radio show on local station 92.3 The Beat, featuring friend of the label DJ Julio G at the controls. He asked Easy if he could play tracks from The Chronic. Easy said yes, since he was getting paid off it, after all. But Suge Knight was not amused, making threats that inspired the station to heighten security. When Easy heard about this, he laughed, Julio G said, and told him to play even more Death Row music. The Death Row and Ruthless camps encountered each other in person following the 1994 Billboard Music Awards at Universal Amphitheater. Death Row artists had assembled to support Snoop, who won the prize for Top Male Music Artist. After the ceremony, they and their entourages spilled out onto Universal City Walk, an outdoor shopping tourist travel. Death Row were like 300 deep, BG Knockout said. Real Compton City G's have been nominated for an award as well, but the Ruthless camp was smaller, mainly just BG, Dresta, Easy, and a few bodyguards. Like something out of the Old West, the groups stared each other down and approached slowly. From the front of the pack, Suge made his way over to Easy, putting his arm around his shoulders in what seemed like an effort to intimidate him. The foot soldiers got to barking at each other as well. But
For more of these fascinating stories and true crimes, subscribe to Charles Arnis World. Thanks for watching.